The day I stopped believing her wasn't the day she lied. It was the day I stopped caring that she did. I'm watching Melissa towel off her neck in the kitchen, her gym bag still slung over her shoulder. She's sweating through her sports bra, and there's something different about the way she moves now. Careful, like she's performing for an audience I can't see. "How was your workout?" I ask, not looking up from my laptop. "Great. Really pushed myself today," she says. She's already reaching for her phone, checking messages. Always checking messages now. "Troy showed me this new routine for my glutes." Troy. She says his name like it's casual, like I haven't noticed she's mentioned him 12 times this week. Like I haven't noticed the way her voice gets softer when she talks about him. I close my laptop and look at her. Really look. The flush in her cheeks isn't just from exercise. There's something else there. Something that makes my chest tighten in a way that has nothing to do with love anymore. "You're home late?" I say. "The gym was packed. Had to wait for equipment," she responds. She's already turning away, heading for the shower. "I'm starving. Can you order something?" She doesn't wait for an answer. The bathroom door closes and I hear the water start running. I sit there in the kitchen, surrounded by the scent of her sweat and lies, and I realize something fundamental has shifted inside me. I used to care when she lied, used to feel that spike of anxiety, that desperate need to dig deeper. Now I just feel calculating. The shower is still running. I can hear her singing, actually singing, something she hasn't done in months. The sound makes my skin crawl, not because it's unpleasant, but because I know it's not for me. I open my laptop again and start typing. Not work emails. Research. Background check services. Private investigators. The kind of people who document things professionally, who turn suspicions into facts and facts into evidence. By the time Melissa comes out of the shower, I've already sent 3 emails. She leans over to kiss my forehead, and I let her. Her lips are dry, distracted. "You're quiet tonight," she says. "Just thinking about work," I say. "You work too much," she replies. She's already moving away, toward the bedroom. "I'm going to change and then we can order food." I watch her go, noting the way she takes her phone with her. Always takes her phone now. My phone buzzes. An email confirmation from Blackstone Investigations. "We've received your inquiry and will respond within 24 hours. I delete the email and clear my browser history. Not because I'm hiding anything, I'm past hiding, but because I'm learning. Learning to be as careful as she is, as calculated as she thinks she is. The funny thing is, I'm not angry. I should be angry. Instead, I feel something colder, sharper, something that tastes like strategy and patience and the quiet satisfaction of a plan beginning to take shape. Tomorrow, I'll hire someone to follow my wife. Tonight, I'll lie next to her and pretend I still believe in us. The PI's report arrives on a Thursday morning, delivered to my office instead of home. Smart woman, this Sarah Chen from Blackstone. She understands discretion. I'm 3 pages in when I see the name and my coffee goes cold in my hand. Troy Daniels. Not just any Troy. Troy Daniels from Roosevelt High. The same steroid-pumped asshole who used to slam me into lockers between classes. The same Troy who called me computer boy while he was failing basic math. And now he's f***ing my wife. I set the report down and stare at the attached photos. There's Troy, 22 years later, still built like a brick shithouse, but with gray threading through his buzz cut. Still that same cocky grin that used to make my stomach clench with humiliation. The photos are thorough. Troy leading Melissa through a workout, his hands on her hips. Troy and Melissa in the parking lot of the Marriott downtown, her hand on his chest. Troy's truck parked outside our apartment complex at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, right after I left for my client meeting. But it's the last photo that makes my hands shake. Not from rage. I'm past rage now. From something colder. Is taken through our bedroom window. Troy's in my bed, in my sheets, and Melissa's straddling him like she's claiming territory. Her back is arched, her head thrown back, and she looks more alive than she has in months. More alive than she's ever looked with me. I close the report and walk to my office window. 15 floors below, the city hums with traffic and purpose, and people who probably don't know their high school bullies are currently dismantling their lives. My phone buzzes. A text from Melissa. Working late again tonight, don't wait up. I stare at the message for a long moment, then delete it without responding. The rage should come now. The shouting, the confrontation, the dramatic scene. That's what the old Jake would have done. But this isn't about fairness anymore. This is about Troy Daniels thinking he can take what's mine. Again. I pull up my laptop and start typing. Not an angry email to Melissa. A carefully worded inquiry to Mitchell and Associates, the law firm that handled our prenup. I need to understand exactly what I'm working with. The prenup was Melissa's idea, actually. She'd been burned in a previous relationship and wanted to protect her assets. The irony is exquisite. She's about to discover that the document she insisted on signing is going to be the instrument of her destruction. I spend the next hour researching Troy's current situation. Social media makes it easy. He's got 15,000 followers on Instagram, all watching him flex and pose. He's got a business license for Daniels Fitness Solutions that was filed 6 months ago. 6 months, right around the time Melissa joined that gym. I dig deeper. Troy's ex-wife, Rebecca, divorced him 2 years ago. The court documents paint an interesting picture. Domestic disturbance calls. Restraining order applications. A pattern of behavior that suggests Troy hasn't outgrown his high school tendency toward violence. Perfect. By the time I get home that evening, I've installed 3 new pieces of software on my computer. One tracks all internet activity on our home network. Another monitors phone usage. The third records audio from any device connected to our Wi-Fi. I'm done being the trusting husband. I'm done being the victim. The audio file arrives in my inbox at 3:47 a.m. on a Tuesday. I'm awake because I've been awake every night for the past 2 weeks, monitoring, documenting, cataloging the systematic destruction of my marriage. Sarah Chen's message is brief. Thought you should hear this. Recorded yesterday afternoon at the Marriott. I plug in my headphones and press play. God, I can't believe how good this feels, Melissa's voice says, breathless and satisfied. You deserve to feel good, Troy responds. You deserve someone who actually sees you. Jake doesn't see me anymore. He's so buried in his work. I'm like furniture to him, she continues. His loss. When we're together, when we finally do this right, he's going to know exactly what he lost, Troy replies. There's a pause, filled with intimate silence. About that, Melissa says, and something in her tone makes me lean forward. I talked to Sandra at the firm. She thinks I could take him for at least half of everything. Maybe more if I can prove neglect. Neglect? Troy asks. Emotional neglect? He works all the time, ignores my needs. Sandra says I could make a case that he's basically abandoned the marriage, she explains. My blood goes cold. The prenup. The document she insisted on. How much are we talking about? Troy asks. The apartment's worth $800K. His business is probably worth twice that, plus his investments, his $401K, all of it. He's too spineless to fight. He'll hand me the house out of guilt, she says. Troy laughs, low and nasty. Spineless? Yeah, I remember that about Computer Boy. Used to piss himself when I'd corner him by the lockers. You knew him in high school? She asks. Jake Whitmore, skinny little nerd who thought he was smarter than everyone else. I made his life hell for 2 years, he replies. And now you're f***ing his wife, Melissa says, her voice pleased, almost proud. Now I'm f***ing his wife, and she's about to clean him out in divorce court, Troy responds. They both laugh, and the sound makes my hands shake. Not from fear, I'm past fear now. From something much colder. He's so trusting, Melissa continues. So naive. He actually believes all my excuses. Last week I told him I was having dinner with my sister, and he just nodded and smiled. What happens when he finds out? Troy asks. It won't. And even if he does, what's he going to do? He's not the type to make a scene. He'll just shrink away like he always does, she answers. I remove the headphones and set them down carefully. My hands aren't shaking anymore. My mind is crystal clear, sharp as a blade. They think they know me. They think I'm still the scared kid from high school, still the trusting husband who believes every lie. They're planning to destroy me, and they're laughing about it. But they don't know about the cameras. They don't know about the audio recordings. They don't know about the prenup clause that invalidates the entire document if either party commits adultery. Most importantly, they don't know that I stopped being a victim the moment I heard Melissa whisper, "I love you too," to another man. I open my laptop and start typing, a carefully worded inquiry to the law firm that handled our prenup, asking for clarification on the adultery clause. Then I call Rebecca Daniels. Hello? Her voice is cautious. It's 4 a.m., but she answers anyway. Rebecca, this is the person who emailed you about Troy Daniels. I'm sorry to call so late, but I think I'm in trouble, I say. What kind of trouble? She asks. Bernadette West is involved with my wife, and I think they're planning to destroy me, I explain. There's a pause. When she speaks again, her voice is harder. Where are you? We need to talk, she says. The confrontation comes on a Saturday morning in October. I'm in my home office when I hear the front door open. Jake? Melissa's voice calls out, but different, confident, commanding. We need to talk! I save my work and close the laptop. Through the window, I can see Troy's black pickup truck in our driveway. I walk to the living room and stop in the doorway. Melissa is standing by the couch, arms crossed. Troy is beside her, bigger than he looked in the photos, his thick arms covered in tattoos. Hello, computer boy, Troy says, that same nasty grin. Been a long time. Troy, I reply, keeping my voice neutral. I see you've met my wife. Oh, I've done more than meet her, he says. We've been getting to know each other very well. He puts his arm around Melissa's shoulders, and she lifts her chin to meet my eyes. Jake, we need to talk about our situation, she says. Her situation, I repeat. The marriage is over, she states. We both know it. Troy steps forward. Here's how this is going to work. You've got two choices. You can be smart about this, or you can be difficult. I'm listening, I say. Option 1. You pack your and get out. Sign whatever papers Melissa's lawyer gives you, split everything 50-50 and disappear, he explains. And option 2, I ask. Troy's grin widens. Option 2 is you make this hard on everyone. You fight the divorce, make accusations, drag this out in court, and then Melissa and I make your life very uncomfortable. Uncomfortable how? I ask. You remember what I was like in high school. I've gotten better at it since then, he says. I look at Melissa, who's watching this exchange with something that looks like excitement. What do you want, Melissa? I ask. I want you to be reasonable. We can both walk away from this with our dignity intact, she says. I nod slowly, like I'm processing their offer. I understand, I say. But before I make a decision, I'd like to show you something. I walk to the entertainment center and pick up the remote. Behind me, I hear Troy shift his weight. Jake, Melissa says, her voice cautious. What are you doing? Just want to make sure we're all on the same page, I reply. I press a button and the 65-inch TV flickers to life. The screen fills with footage from our bedroom, dated 3 weeks ago. Melissa is on top of Troy, her back arched, her head thrown back. The audio is crystal clear. Jesus Christ, Troy breathes. Melissa's face goes white. Jake, where did you get that? I recorded it, this one and about 40 others just like it, I say. I press another button. Hotel room footage. Car footage. Audio recordings of their phone calls, their planning sessions, their discussions about destroying me financially. You sick f***, Troy snarls. You've been spying on us? I've been documenting the conspiracy to defraud me of my assets. It's all here, Troy. Every lie, every scheme, every moment of your touching romance, I explain. Melissa sinks onto the couch. You can't use this, it's illegal. Actually, I can. This is my home and I have every right to record what happens in it. I reply. Troy takes a step toward me, fists clenched. You little shit. You think you're so smart, don't you? I think I'm prepared, I say. He reach into my pocket and pull out a small device. It looks like a car key fob, but it's actually a remote for the hidden safe behind the bookshelf. You see, Troy, I've learned a lot about you. Your pattern of behavior, your history of violence. Rebecca sends her regards, by the way. His face darkens. Rebecca, you talked to that bitch? I talked to your ex-wife, yes. She was very informative about your methods, your temper, your habit of threatening people. I reply. I press the button on the remote. Behind me, the soft whir of the hidden safe opening. She also told me that you have a tendency to get physical when you're cornered, I continue. Troy's face is red now, veins bulging. You think you can threaten me? I'm not trying to scare you, Troy. I'm trying to educate you, I say. He lunges at me, just like I knew he would. I sidestep easily and reach into the safe, pulling out the Glock 19 I purchased 6 weeks ago. Troy, I say calmly, stop. He spins around, sees the gun, and freezes. Melissa screams. Now we can discuss this like adults, or you can keep acting like the same bully you were in high school. Your choice, I say. You won't shoot me, Troy says, but his voice lacks conviction. You're right. I don't want to shoot you. I want you to leave my home and disappear from my life. But if you force me to defend myself, I will, I reply. Troy's eyes dart between me and the gun, calculating odds. Put the gun down, Jake, Melissa says. This is insane. What's insane is thinking you could destroy my life and I'd just accept it. What's insane is believing I'm the same helpless victim I was 20 years ago, I respond. I walk to the entertainment center and pick up a manila envelope. These are copies of everything. One goes to your parole officer. Yes, I know about the assault charge. Another goes to the State Athletic Commission, with evidence of your steroid use. A third goes to the IRS, with documentation of your unreported income. Troy's face goes ashen. You can't. I can, and I will, unless you disappear today, forever, I interrupt. Troy straightens up, trying to salvage dignity. You think you've won? She doesn't love you, Jake. She never did. I know, I say. I've known for months. The difference is, I don't care anymore. Get out, I continue. Both of you. You have 10 minutes to take whatever you need, Melissa. You can't just throw me out, she protests. Actually, I can. The lease is in my name, and thanks to your conspiracy, you've violated the cohabitation clause in our prenup, I explain. Troy grabs Melissa's arm. Come on, we don't need this shit. But she jerks away, and I see fear flicker in her eyes, not of me, of him. Troy, she says hesitantly, maybe we should talk about this. Talk about what? He's got us on tape, he's got evidence, we're f***ed, he replies. But we can still be together, she begins. With what money? You think I'm going to support you while you fight this in court? He interrupts. And there it is. The moment she realizes her knight in shining armor is just another predator. You're leaving me, she whispers. I'm saving myself, Troy corrects. He heads for the door, and after a moment's hesitation, Melissa follows. She stops at the threshold. "I did love you," she says. "In the beginning." "I know," I reply. "But love isn't enough when you're dealing with someone who doesn't know how to be faithful." They leave, and I watch through the window as they argue in the driveway, as Troy drives away without her, as Melissa stands there realizing she's lost everything. And I don't feel sorry for her, I just feel clean, like I've finally amputated a diseased limb. The divorce proceedings last exactly 6 weeks. Melissa's lawyer takes one look at the evidence and recommends immediate settlement. The recordings of Melissa discussing her plans to clean me out don't play well in family court. "Your client has no case," my lawyer tells Sandra during mediation. "The adultery clause invalidates the prenup entirely. The conspiracy to defraud opens her up to criminal liability." Melissa sits across from me, looking smaller than I remember. She's lost weight, developed dark circles under her eyes. "I'm willing to be reasonable," I say. "She can keep her car, her jewelry, her personal effects. I'll even pay her health insurance for 6 months." "Mrs. Whitmore was hoping for spousal support," Sandra says carefully. "Based on what contributions?" my lawyer asks, sliding a folder across the table. "The household expenses she ran up having an affair, the credit cards she maxed out buying lingerie for her boyfriend." Sandra reviews the documents, her face growing pale. "I need to confer with my client." They step outside. Through the window, I can see Melissa pacing, arguing with her lawyer. "She's going to take the deal," my lawyer says. "Sandra's smart enough to know when a case is hopeless." "And Troy?" I ask. "The police are interested in his business practices. Selling steroids without a prescription is still a federal crime," he replies. I watch Melissa through the glass, see the moment Sandra delivers the bad news. Her shoulders slump, and she looks at me through the window. For a moment, I see something that might be regret. They return. Sandra's face is professionally neutral, but defeated. "My client accepts the terms," she says, "but she'd like to make a statement." "I want to say I'm sorry," Melissa says, looking at me directly, "for all of it. For the lying, the cheating, the planning. I know it doesn't change anything, but I need you to know I'm sorry." "Noted," I say. I never meant for it to go as far as it did. Troy made me feel like I was worth something. I got caught up in that feeling, she continues. "You lost sight of right and wrong," I correct. "You lost sight of the fact that I was a human being who deserved honesty." She flinches. "You're right, and I'm going to have to live with that." "Yes," I say, "you are." The papers are signed 20 minutes later. Melissa walks out with nothing but her purse and the clothes on her back. 3 weeks later, I'm in my new apartment when Sarah Chen calls. "Troy Daniels was arrested this morning. Federal agents found enough steroids to supply a small army," she informs me. "How long is he looking at?" I ask. 5 to 10 years, minimum. The fraud charges are still pending," she replies. "And Melissa?" I ask. "Working at a chain restaurant? Waitressing? Living in a studio apartment," she says. I absorb this without emotion. The woman who thought she was going to destroy me is now taking orders from strangers. "Rebecca Daniels wanted me to thank you," Sarah continues. "She said you gave her something she never thought she'd have." "Which is?" I ask. "Justice," she replies. "The lake house sits on 40 acres of Wisconsin wilderness, 2 hours from the city and a lifetime away from everything I used to be. I bought it with the money from selling the downtown apartment, where Melissa and Troy thought they could humiliate me. It's been 8 months since the divorce. 8 months of rebuilding, of learning to trust the silence, of discovering what peace feels like when you're not waiting for the next betrayal. My cybersecurity business is thriving. Turns out, when you're not distracted by a lying wife, you can focus in ways that actually matter. The same skills I used to catch them, surveillance, digital forensics, pattern recognition, are now making me more money than I ever dreamed. I don't date much. Trust is a luxury I can't afford yet. But I've had a few casual relationships. Women who understand I'm not looking for anything serious, who appreciate honesty over romance. I'm on the deck this morning drinking coffee and watching the sunrise when the mail truck arrives. The driver drops off a small package and drives away. The package is from Chicago, no return address. Inside is a single envelope, expensive paper, my name written in Melissa's handwriting. I stare at it for a long moment. Part of me wants to burn it immediately. Another part is curious about what she thinks she has to say. I walk to the window. The lake is calm, mirror smooth, reflecting the sky perfectly. This is what peace looks like. Stillness. Quiet. The absence of chaos. I return to the table and open the envelope. Jake, I know you probably don't want to hear from me. I know I don't deserve anything from you, but I need you to know that I think about what I did every single day. I think about how I hurt you, how I betrayed you, how I threw away the best thing that ever happened to me for someone who didn't even care enough to stay. I'm not writing this to ask for forgiveness. I know there's no going back. I'm writing because I need you to know that I understand now. I understand what I gave up, what I lost. Troy was never the man I thought he was. He was just someone who knew how to tell me what I wanted to hear. That's my fault, not yours. You loved me consistently, faithfully, completely. I was the one who needed constant validation. I know now that love isn't about feeling special. It's about feeling secure. It's about knowing someone will stay, will choose you even when you're not at your best. You gave me that, and I threw it away. I'm working now, trying to rebuild. It's hard, and I probably deserve every bit of struggle. But I'm learning what it means to be alone, to be responsible for my own happiness. I don't expect you to care about any of this. I just needed you to know that I understand what I did to you, and I'm sorry. Not sorry because I got caught, but sorry because I hurt someone who didn't deserve to be hurt. I hope you're happy. I hope you've found peace. I hope you've forgotten me. Melissa. I read the letter twice, then walk back to the window. The loons are calling to each other across the water. Melissa's words are probably sincere. She's probably learned things, grown in ways she never had to when she was married to someone who made her life comfortable. But her sincerity doesn't change anything. Her growth doesn't undo the damage. I walk to the fireplace and strike a match. The letter catches fire immediately, curling at the edges, turning to ash. I don't feel angry. I don't feel sad. I don't feel anything except quiet satisfaction that comes from knowing I've moved beyond the reach of her words. She taught me that love can lie, that trust can be weaponized, that the people closest to you can be the most dangerous. I taught her that actions have consequences, that choices have prices, that some bridges can never be rebuilt. The fire dies down, and I sweep the ashes into the fireplace. Outside, the loons have gone quiet, and the lake is perfectly still. I have work to do today. A new client, a CEO who thinks his business partner is embezzling. It's the kind of case I specialize in now, people who trust the wrong person, who need someone to document the truth. I'm good at this work. Better than good. I'm becoming something of a legend, the guy who can find evidence that doesn't want to be found. The phone rings. It's Maria, calling from Madison. "How's the hermit life treating you?" she asks. "Can't complain. The view's good, the company's better," I reply. "Company? Should I be jealous?" she asks. "Just me and the loons. They're excellent conversationalists," I say. She laughs. "I'm coming up this weekend. I'll bring wine." "I'm interested," I reply. "Good. You have something better than wisdom. You have peace." "That's rarer," she says. After she hangs up, I sit in the quiet and think about what she said. Peace. Yes. That's what I have now. Not happiness, exactly, but peace. The absence of chaos, of uncertainty, of people who want to use me. I've learned to be content with that. Peace isn't forgiveness. It's the decision to stop letting other people's choices define your life. The sun is higher now, burning off the morning mist. I take a sip of coffee and smile. Somewhere in Chicago, Melissa is probably starting her shift at the restaurant. Somewhere else, Troy is counting down days until his trial. And here I am, in my fortress of solitude, drinking coffee and watching the sunrise and feeling something I haven't felt in years, completely, utterly free. She taught me that love can lie. I taught her that silence can scream louder than revenge. And now, finally, there is nothing left to say. And so, we've reached the end of today's story. Was it what you expected, or did it take a twist you didn't see coming? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments below, and let's get a conversation going. If this story kept you hooked, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're new here or just haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to join our community. I bring you fresh, captivating stories every day, so click that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.